You can say that again and again and again. You know, those of us who communicate for a living are sometimes surprised when the message doesn't get through to our audience. In order to be sure a message is understood, the old adage in public speaking still holds true. You tell the audience what you're going to tell them, then tell them, and finally, tell them what you told them. By the way, that holds true for everything from beginning speech class right on through to the ministry leader or the corporate CEO. What is impressive is how many leaders think they are communicating when they're not. My friend Don McMahon recently wrote about this in a blog, and he posted to a study that was done a few years ago. Don quoted a 2002 survey of 1,104 business professionals that showed that while 86% of the leaders feel they are great communicators, only 17% of their workers believe those leaders are effective communicators. That is a big difference. In that study, the authors identified 4 assumptions that leaders make that hinder good communication. For instance, leaders think that listeners understand what was communicated. And they also think that listeners agree with what was communicated. Another assumption, listeners care about what was communicated. And finally, they think that listeners will take appropriate action. You know what? If number 1 doesn't happen, the listener understanding, the other points are, well, pointless. People need to know what you are saying and retain that in a memorable way. Maybe that's why God told Joshua over and over, be strong and of good courage. Read that in Joshua over and over. And maybe that's why the Apostle Paul wrote, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice, Philippians 4. The other points in that list are valuable to ensure that what you say takes hold with those in your audience. The Bible talks about being doers of the word and not just hearers. The listener must understand why they should care about what you tell them. In other words, why should it matter to them? And for these points, you may need appropriate feedback from those listeners. You can often read your audience, seeing the intensity of their eyes as you speak or the nodding of their heads, the note-taking and other body language. That is a tip for you. To be very sure, it's a good idea to get direct feedback. Asking the listener a question can help you know if you got your point or points across. Asking them their opinion and what they think about what you heard will tell you if they agree with you. And asking them what steps they think they should take as a result of what they heard will start them on a path to being more than just a hearer, but to be a doer. Now that I think about this, I should probably have a form for you to fill out with those kinds of questions that you could send back to me. However, I'll trust you'll take this to heart so you might be a better communicator and can lead more effectively to accomplish what the Lord has for you in ministry and in life. If you'd like to know more about our global ministry, well, check out our website, MEDIALLIANCE.cc. And it will help us grow if you'll like, subscribe, and share these videos. Thanks so much, and God's best.